So in this area, in Mount Vernon, being small, just like T said, when you first got here, it was a little different. Tell me what's the key barriers that prevent LGBT groups from accessing like services, whether it be the same services you see, the Cove, a group that's helping children, a group that's feeding families. Why are you guys not able to access those same services for your community?
All three of us are on a committee together, but I'm going to let.
Sure. Could you clarify, do you mean public services like food, or do you mean like healthcare?
Okay, let me give you like Pride. I didn't film last year, but I just came out there because I live right around the corner. I just wanted to see what was going on. I'm coming out to film this year with you guys. When I see certain, I don't want to name them, other festivals and other things going on, I see the city heavily involved. I didn't see that at Pride. It seemed like y'all was doing everything. That's what it looked like to me.
There is a political climate right now that is extremely oppositional to our mission. A lot of people do not want to see LGBTQ and queer people and trans people flourish. We are fighting against that along with our many, many allies in this town. But with every 100 allies, we have maybe 1 or 2 people who go against us. And unfortunately, at this moment, they have more power than we do. But we have more people than them.
And when you say, okay.
Just this week, Terry, I was handing out flyers for our May 30th Pride in the Park event at Veterans Memorial Park. And, just walking into any building or place of business or organization with that flyer, how hard, you talk about, who's supporting us and who isn't and why, and how maybe it feels like the city of Mount Vernon, is supporting other organizations.
I don't want to necessarily out anybody's name, a city of Mount Vernon.
That's what I thought I heard you
say. None of that. I'm saying I don't see the city. Just the city in general. I don't know who that may be.
That's a good
I'm
question.
saying I don't know who that person is or who you contact. I'm just saying when I walked through there last year, that was what my eyes seen. It's like everything that y'all was doing out there was kind of y'all. It was, but when I go to some of these other events, I can see that there are city presence there. You get what I mean?
Right. I think they're trying to be mainstream. I think they're trying to stay in a bubble of what they feel like is going to be most accepted by the most amount of people. When I'm handing those flyers out, some people say no, some people say yes, and they turn around and put it in the trash can. Some people's face light up and they take the flyer and they hang it up on the wall, or they allow me to. It's not that hard to do.
So if they believe what you're saying, right, and you guys saying the level of violence can escalate at any minute with you guys, right? That could just happen. Somebody can show up.
I don't mean violence. I mean,
I'm saying that. I mean, because I talked to Jason.
They don't want to be guilty by association.
Right. So what I'm saying is, shouldn't they put more security up there for you guys so that I'm just telling you what my eyes seen. That's all I'm saying. I'm just telling you what my eyes seen.
We love working with Mount Vernon Parks. They are, we rent, and they're a great partner in that. Now we have the police station right there on the corner. We do contact the law enforcement when we have events and let them know what we're doing.
Let me give you an example though, Amanda.
But I do know what you mean.
I want you to start right there before you get any further. You guys, okay. Oh my God. Okay.
I think maybe you have some thoughts about where he's going
when
with that.
Black events happen in Mount Vernon, right? I don't care if it's 10 of us or 200 of us. We ain't got to call them. Somebody, they gonna figure out there's a flyer online, somebody promoted a party, police finna circle. They finna circle the area. They finna be driving back and forth.
That's something that, actually, I have something to add to this, because back in 2020 now, The first protest I ever went to was Black Lives Matter protest. And I actually noticed the exact same thing you did. They were just fucking circling and circling and circling. Um, Unfortunately, and I don't necessarily know if this is true, but I think it's just whether or not we want to admit it, I think it's just a bias thing. I think to an extent, yes, queer people are seen as a threat in the way that we're indoctrinating children or whatever they want to say to us, right? But I don't think, how do I say this? I don't think they see all minorities as the same level of like threat. And that sucks to say. And I don't like saying it like that, but that's the only way I can think of it.
I think you're right. I think I think it doesn't matter. I think it doesn't matter in certain instances. I don't know with you guys. I know with blacks. If you are a certain caliber financially,
They don't worry about it.
then you're not black.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know if it works like that with you guys. I don't know if there's a certain level. If there's a gay guy that makes $1 million, they look past the fact that he's. I don't know. Because I'm saying, do y'all see that?
Yes.
Money will change the aspect of who you guys are. Really, it does.
I also see, and I might get darts thrown at me for this. And you talked about the other day. You said something. You said, "Boy, I might get run through the ringer for this." I do. On occasion, you'll see queer folk hide behind more conservatism, kind of try to fit in with their surroundings. And I do see a little bit of that, especially when they put their politics out there in a way that maybe wouldn't normally jive with being LGBTQI plus friendly. So I see that with not necessarily money, but a status of like, okay, well, this is a conservative member of the community and kind of slides in under the radar with a larger group.
I have something to say.
Please.
Okay. I think, so out Mount Vernon, and I think a lot of the queer people who are willing to come out in this town, and I'm grateful for them, I think they have the, what's the word I'm looking for? They have the privilege of being there because they can hide behind, and this sounds bad, their whiteness. Like,
I feel you. White privilege.
yes, that's exactly what I mean. Like, you would not expect, to see that level of police there because I don't think they would see us as a threat. Even like even with like the poorer queer folk, like I don't think it's necessarily a thing about money. Like, yes, I see queer and trans people like jumping over hurdles and like changing it, and people just ignore that part of them because they have money. I do see that, but I think overall, and I would love to change this, by the way, that every time I've gone to, this is my first year on the outboard, every time I've gone to Out Mount Vernon and the Pride Fest in the past, it's been a predominantly white event.
We talked about this the other day.
Yes, and I think that unfortunately is one of the main factors why police presence is not higher.
I'm not talking about the gays, just overall black people in general. They have a problem hanging out with the other race here. It goes back to that white privilege thing that you just talked about. So if we are in a circle of friends and something happens, right? And this happened to me, and I'm an older man. And so I got me and there's two white guys, and the police pull up. They instantly start talking to me. What's your name? What are you doing? So they feel like, the black people feel like, oh, my white friends are just gonna trying to take their white privilege with the police and leave me over here. So it goes back to what Amanda's talking about wanting to hang in your own group, because if they gay and they black and they hang within their own space, they don't feel that you guys kind of use your white privilege. It's still a racist white black thing when it comes to gay. It still exists. What's the right pronouns when I'm speaking about you guys? Like, I don't know. I know the one word you're not supposed to use, just like using a nigga word. But I know how do you approach you guys? Like, I don't even like to use the word queer. I don't. But
Right.
I've heard you use that word, but I don't like to use that word. It sounds.
That word has went from being acceptable to not acceptable and back into being acceptable again.
So what's the way? How would I approach you?
You might ask.
So yeah, you could always ask if you're never sure. I think if you are curious, just being like Amanda said earlier, hey, how can I address you, really works well. I've also found that if you are unsure until you can ask or until you are sure, using they them is usually okay. And I think just going at it with your best intention, because even if you do misgender somebody and you just don't know, usually, I know some people have this idea that people will blow up at you, they will yell at you, they'll get on their soapbox and start a big disagreement. But most people are very understanding, like especially people who are, it's like, oh well, you like a good example earlier is you weren't sure. You called me a woman, a she.
Right.
Hey, and that's okay. I wasn't upset. It doesn't bother me. You didn't know any better, and I didn't correct you because I don't necessarily see it as a big deal, me personally. So it just depends. But if you're never sure, you can always say they them until you can go up to them and ask.